94-7. Go ahead.
Michaela, obviously, the game-winning bucket, just your first rivalry against Tennessee, but a moment like that, what are the emotions right now for you?
I'm just very excited. My brother did it not 24 hours ago, so I mean, just to have my dad here for both games and then just to allow him to storm the court with us, I was really excited.
Aria Gearson, Tennessean.
Yeah, Michaela, what did you see on that last play there?
I couldn't tell you what I saw. I mean, I saw the ball go up, and then I was thinking it was going in, and then it came off the rim right into my hand, so I had to make that.
Way in the back right there.
Julian Minnesota News 2 here in Nashville. Michaela, I mean, when you have your teammates celebrating with you there on the court, family coming down, and then obviously the game-winning tip-in, where does that rank as like a basketball moment for you?
That's number one. Yeah, that's got to be number one.
Back.
Ayanna, I believe this is the first time you've beaten Tennessee, correct?
Yeah.
What does this mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot to do it with a group of special women that support each other day in and day out with the best coach there is in the game. So it really means a lot to go out there and do it with this group of people.
Well done.
Hi, Connor Campbell, Vanderbilt Hustler. Ayanna, you had a real hot start to the game and then a real cold stretch and really picked it up in the fourth quarter. What were you kind of telling yourself towards at the end of that game to really get yourself locked back in when the team needed you most?
Just to keep going. My teammates did a good job of just picking me up and just knowing that I'm capable of doing a lot of things, and I'm just doing whatever the team needs me in that moment, and whatever they need, I got them. So.
For either one of you, playing alongside someone like Camille Pierre, how important was she today, and what's it like, playing with her in a game like this?
Camille Pierre is a dog. As y'all can see, she can go out there and do anything you need her to do. No one in this world can guard her. No one can stand between her. And she's going to go out there and give whatever she has for 40 minutes. So she's an amazing teammate and a great person off the court.
Brandon Bigsby, Vandy 24/7. Ayanna, you guys have played a lot of East Coast games, especially over the last few weeks. To be able to win this one and close it out against a ranked team, a rival, how much of a confidence is there for you guys?
I mean, I feel like any game that you step into, you want to win, and any game that's coming up next is the most important game. So we just go in there as the most important game on our schedule and go out there and fight for 40 minutes.
And Aria.
Yeah, Ayanna, what was your perspective on the final play?
My gosh, what? I mean, just to see what Michaela does day in and day out, and just to see her go out there and make that big play for us is just like, are you really a freshman? Were you here before? But I mean, it's just amazing. She goes out there and does whatever we need her to do, and just continues to run through a wall for all of us and Coach Ralph. So, I mean, it was just an amazing moment to go out there and know that we basically had that in the bag.
Garrett in the back.
Garrett Short, WSMV. Michaela, this was maybe like a statement win that the team had been searching for. You guys have been great all year, but kind of knocking on the door of getting to the top 25, having that really something you could stamp on your report card for the end of the season. How good does this feel, and how much do you think it'll help the team going forward?
I mean, it feels good right now. I mean, this past week we've been putting in a lot of work. If only you guys saw behind closed doors. But we've just been continuing to get better and better and continue to push each other to compete, and especially in practices, so that when this moment comes, we're ready. So we're going to continue to be ready for these moments.
Any more questions from the players? All right. Congratulations on the win. Thank you for your time.
It's for my hairdo.
Yeah, don't ever wash it.
Don't worry. It's a week.
We'll wait for the players to exit and shut the door, and we'll start taking questions for Coach Ralph. Coach Ralph, just opening statements after the 71-70 win over number 15 ranked Tennessee.
I'm not usually at a loss of words. I usually can talk for a long time if you give me the opportunity to, but the resiliency that I saw in our team today was the team I know we can be, but it's also reflective of the program here that we're building and that we're running in the university overall. We talk a lot in our locker room about being proud of our effort and the ways that we've grown, but we're not satisfied. And there's going to be an ebb and flow to success, y'all. It's never going to be linear. But when you live in the world that we live in now, and there's all the distractions and the push for instant gratification, I told them before this game, there's a fork in the road for us. We've had a couple of really tough losses where we got smacked. We had one we were really close on the road and we lost, and our team is tired of being right there. They said that we're tired of being right there. We want to be there. And I said, well, then let's keep working. So we had a week to get to continue to work, not only our team, but our staff, everybody on our staff, everybody on our team. We had the choice to take one of those two forks. Do we just, you know what, we're right there, or do we really lock in and say, no, we're gonna get there now. Now's the time. I thought we did that. And you can't do it without great players. You can't. So, you know, these two here, Ayana Moore, who's been with us through everything since the moment we got on campus, finally got a win today that she's been searching for. And she was a big, huge part of that. Not only the shots that she made, her communication and her defense, but also the way that she steps up and stays positive in the locker room, the way that she leads our team. Michaela Blakes comes in and does things that every single day, like that's why she's like, I'm not surprised. Every single day, that's what Michaela Blakes does in practice. So it's not a surprise that she was able to make that kind of play to help us win a game. And the same with Camille Pierre. But again, you know, to go back to what I said before, this is the type of game that we want to play in, that we want to expect to win. We expected to win today. Our football team, our men's basketball team yesterday, they're laying the foundation for this to be the expectation at Vanderbilt, not an anomaly. So for us, we're going to continue working towards that. We want to be a championship program and a championship team. And I do believe that today, this is the team that I know we can be and more.
Go ahead and open up the floor for questions. Please state your name and your organization. We'll start with Aria Gearson. Go ahead.
Yeah, Shea, what was your, what did you draw up on that final play, and then how did you see it go down?
So the last week, one of the things that I thought we needed to be much better at is those kind of late game situations where, for me, it was more about simplifying. What are we going to do? Who are we going to go to? What's option A? What's option B? And making sure that we worked on so that our players understood this is what we're going to go to. So those two things we worked on up until today, again in shoot around. And then those two things we were in back to back, and I thought they executed it perfectly. But that's a great example of what I'm telling you in terms of like, yeah, I push our players to be better, but I also push myself and our staff to be better. And for us this week, it was about simplifying our game plan, getting back to the basics and fundamentals of what Vanderbilt basketball is and who we need to be to win possessions, not to try to hit home runs. So I felt like today our effort was way more consistent on both ends. Our shot selection was good. There's still going to be runs, right, Chancellor? The basketball is a game of runs, but we didn't let it get out of hand. We responded. I was really proud of our defense, and to me, that's just kind of a microcosm. And I tell my players all the time, they probably roll their eyes at me in the locker room, but that is a microcosm of life. It really is. You're going to get knocked down, you're going to get knocked down, you're going to get knocked down, you're going to do everything right and not get the result that you want. But in that moment, who are you? And what do you do? And when you have a group of people to help pull you along, to help push you along when you need it, that is bought in the same way and has the same goals and vision, then it's a really beautiful thing to experience. It's a fun thing to coach. I'm just really lucky that I get to be their coach, and every single day we're going to work on continuing to improve. After this win, this is just the beginning.
Right here.
Shea, I know you said progress isn't linear,
It's not.
but I would imagine along the way of building a program that there are certain milestones, and I'm wondering where beating your in-state rival ranks to you in terms of that.
In terms of a result, I mean, for me, as the head coach here, I would have to say that the moment watching my team today from start to finish, watching them celebrate and do the things that we work on every day was number one. And then there's moments in years past where we didn't get that result, but I couldn't have been prouder of them, and I thought we maximized our full potential. But in terms of the effort that we put in, the belief that these guys in the locker room have in me and in the program we're building and in Vanderbilt University and our administration and Candace Story Lee, the vision that we have, it's not easy to buy into that. When in women's basketball, like Michaela Blakes could have gone anywhere she wanted to go, right? She chose Vanderbilt because she wanted to do something that's never been done before. And that she had to be a visionary to do that. I'm a visionary. I chose it for the same reason, because I know it can be done here. And the powers that be, lay the foundation for us to be able to do the things and recruit these kids and give them a world-class education and make sure that they're part of a family on and off the basketball court. That is not hokey. That is real stuff here. That is real stuff. So these kids are supported on and off the court. They bought into the vision, and now they get to execute it. Today is a statement win because of that. Because it proves that it can be done. And we, like I said, we're just getting started. We're just getting started here. So I would have to say this probably moves up to number 1 for me today.
Julian in the back.
Julian Minnesota News 2. Can you speak to the expand on the defensive performance you guys had, especially after that first quarter? I think you held them at just 5 points in that second quarter, which is tough to do against that team.
Yeah, it is. It is. They play a very fast tempo. They make a bunch of shots, and the thing that we probably spend the most time on early in the season in the summer is our defense and our tenacity, our nose for the ball on rebounding. And there's always questions about, well, size and this and that. I just think that defense and rebounding is more heart and determination and focus and discipline than anything else. And I think if you're a team that can stop people from scoring or at least make it really difficult to score, then you always give yourself a chance. And it's also, when you look at a team that all right, we're gonna have to work really hard to score on them. That's throughout the course of a game. That's exhausting mentally. So that kind of focus and discipline is what championship teams are built of. And then offensively, if you can do that, stop them from scoring, get a great look, stop them from scoring, get a great look. The ball's gonna go in or it won't. We don't have a whole lot of control over that other than we wanna take a great shot. But these guys that have been in the room here after every game, here we talk about defense ad nauseum because I feel like that's where we hang our hat. And I felt like today we had to have that performance and my team delivered it.
Garrett in the back.
Garrett Short, WSMV. Coach, you said that this might be your favorite moment. It might be number 1. What were those emotions like in the locker room? It looks like you got a little wet.
I did. I mean, joy, excitement, the emotions that you would imagine in a moment like that. But also, I think the thing that I liked the most about it wasn't over the top. It wasn't, because, again, this is the expectation. So somebody in the room said that we've been knocking on the door, and we've been knocking on the door now for a couple of years. And I felt like it was more like, finally, like this is who we are. So there was joy and celebration because we won a big game, exciting game on our home court. But now we're looking forward. What's the next game? What's the next moment? Who's the next opponent? What's the next opportunity we get to get even better from this? Because, like I said, we have goals. We have a vision here to accomplish. So the expectation is that we do this today. But they're definitely, I tell them, celebrate every moment. And they did. They celebrated.
Elena?
One player or two came off the bench, didn't, stuff the stat sheet in particular, but Leilani Kaplan is extremely physical. How important was she for you on the defensive end today?
She's a bulldog, right? She goes out there and she's just after everything. You have to have kids on your team like that. She's a kid that doesn't need to shoot the ball. In fact, she should probably shoot more when she's open. But she's going to do what she has to do defensively, and she's going to go after every rebound. And even when they think they have it, she's somehow going to get her hands on it. She is, that's her identity. She is built that way. That's not something I can coach them to have. She has it. Jay Nwaba has it. To some extent, Maddie Green has it on the defensive end of the floor. So when you have Jordan Oliver has it, right? When you have people like that on your team that can play those big minutes and impact the game in a positive way without scoring, that's how you have a great team.
All right.
When we talked to you on Friday, you talked about how important it is to stick to your identity against a team that plays a unique style like this. You had more fast break points than Tennessee, only 13 turnovers. How big was that to be able to kind of make it your brand of basketball?
Exactly. I think it was, if anything, it just proves our point in the locker room. Hey, we just have to be us. It's never us against the opponent. It is. The game is Vanderbilt versus Tennessee, but usually it's you versus you. The you that is ultra competitive, super disciplined, will help somebody, will communicate. Or when something happens on the floor, which it inevitably does, where they get an open 3 or layup, are we going to hang our heads and not communicate and not rotate the next time because we're still thinking about that one play? We have to continue to level up in order for us to be our best selves and to maximize our full potential in that way individually and as a team. Then we have to be ourselves. And we have to work on that every day, no matter who is in the other locker room, no matter where we travel to, no matter what championship we're competing for. If we can be that, then I think we can compete with any team in the country. And that's true. And today, I think, not only did the players buy in, but now they fully believe because they saw what it is, they saw how we can do it, and they achieved the result that we were after.
Connor, go ahead.
Yep. A statement that's thrown around a lot during the basketball season is the term Memorial Magic. But it seems that there was no bigger moment for Memorial Magic to happen than this weekend. I mean, the last time that Vanderbilt beat Tennessee in both the men's and the women's program was in 2014, and that didn't happen on the same weekend on the same floor. What does a moment like this for both your program and the men's program kind of mean for you guys as well as the Vanderbilt community as a whole?
First of all, Memorial Magic is a real thing. So you guys know, it's a real thing. It's made real by the fans, the community, the players. I mean, today the environment was amazing. And we had a true home court advantage. What does it mean for our programs? I mean, I think that the two basketball programs, football program, all the athletic programs here, we're very close. We're a close-knit family. We're smaller, private school in the SEC, but we're not the little sisters of the poor, guys. We're here to compete with anyone in the country. And that's been made visible not only by the continual progression of our greatness individually, right? The teams here are doing some great things, a lot of them across the board. A great example again is football and men's basketball and the jumps that they've taken. But it also speaks to the investment that the university has made in our athletics department. The new facilities going up, the competitive way that we are leveling out in the landscape, the resources that we're able to give our student athletes on and off the court, not only to be great athletically, but to get a world-class education. That doesn't exist anywhere else. Does it? No. We're the only one in the SEC, and the SEC is the best college basketball conference in the country. So, what does it say about our programs? Well, I just know I'm really happy to be here, because there isn't another place in the country like Vanderbilt. We are going to compete on the court to win championships that are world-class, just like the one that they're going to graduate with.
Last couple of questions. Sorry, Gentry, go ahead.
You mentioned Michaela could have gone anywhere. She was to be here. What does it say about her that she did want to be here for the reasons you said? And how much does it change your team to have a player like that?
She's built different. Michaela Blakes is a believer. She believes in herself, and she's a visionary. So it's really easy to say, this is my goal and I want to accomplish it, and I want to be the first person to do it. I think it's easy to have those goals. I want to be an All-American. I want to win a national championship. Most of the recruits that I talk to, they say those things. But that's really hard to do. And it's also hard to come in on a team that's kind of on the rise, we're on the rise, and say those are the things I want, but I also want to play. And I want to be the person that helps us get those now as a freshman. The most unique thing about her was there was really no freshman transition. And I remember talking to some of our beat writers, Aria and Elena, in the summer, and they were asking me who's the most impressive. Like, I'm not surprised, but Michaela Blakes is coming here and take this program by storm. She is ultra competitive, ultra confident, a great teammate, super humble, really smart, extremely skilled and talented. I mean, she has all the makings of a generational kind of player. And so what does it say that she chose us? It says to me that she wants to do the same thing I want to do, that we want to do, and that she believes in that process and vision. And we talked a lot about that for 3 straight years with the kid. But then she took the leap of faith. And in essence, so did we. And so did everybody. So did Camille Pierre. So did Ayanna Moore, when it would have been easy after losing to Tennessee her first 3 years to be like, you know what, I'm going to go somewhere where it's probably going to be a little easier for me. But she didn't. They don't want easy. They want right. They want the opportunity to do it here at Vanderbilt. And it's not just about the basketball for those kids either. And I think the word family is used a lot, family and culture in sports, but I really do try hard to run this program like a family. I have a young daughter. I was a basketball player. I went through a whole bunch as a basketball player, and my goal was to play professional basketball, and then I had 5 ACLs. I didn't have a plan B. That won't happen to my players. That won't. And if they want to play until they're 40 and their bodies hold up, we're going to give them hopefully that opportunity to do that. We'll prepare them. But they're also going to get a degree from Vanderbilt University so that if they don't and they can't, and the world has a different plan for them, that they'll go on and be successful in another way. And the decisions I make for my daughter, I think about them the same way. And the decisions I make to recruit and coach the players that I have on my team, to hire the staff that I have, and to run the program here at Vanderbilt. That will never change. That was important to them too. So all of those things come together to make the right mix of people who can do something like we did today and continue to move forward and build the program the right way.
Okay, final question, Brandon Bixby, go ahead.
Coach, you talked about a little bit earlier how you guys have been right there and you've been kind of looking to kind of kick the door open in these sorts of games and in these sorts of moments. Does a win in a game like this against not just one of the top teams in the country, but a rival, does this feel like a breakthrough moment for you guys, not just as a team, but potentially as a program as well?
It definitely does. I think, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, you know. I think it's a big moment right now for us. This was important. The way that we played today was important. In terms of where we are in our season, the fact that we had this opportunity on our home court, the things that happened yesterday on the court for the men, it was an important moment for us in the trajectory of our program this season. And obviously overall, right? Like obviously this is a big victory, but I worry about right now. I try to stay present with our team, you know, honor the past, respect it, okay, stay present, and then believe in the future. This today, I think, is going to create a whole hell of a lot of belief and confidence in our team. I'm excited to get back to work.
All right, Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
For the Arkansas game.
All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.